So
So how
these
you
are some
been?
of my folks. This is
Oh,
Annie,
good.
and that's Marissa.
Hello.
Darkness.
Hello. I don't
Miranda.
Hello.
There
see
you go.
everyone. Am I supposed to see everyone?
Well, there's not a whole lot of people here, so
Well, that's
they
okay.
kind of trickle in. But if you want to, you can go up to your right hand view, and you can put gallery view.
Gotcha. Hi. I see
Hello.
somebody's beautiful ceiling. I wish, Marissa, I had that ceiling.
she,
I like ceilings.
These are two very, very amazing artists. And you guys want to share any of your artwork before we start?
Yeah.
Yeah, rags or something you washed?
I didn't wash anything.
I've got this new enormous setup.
I'm in class right now.
Performance light bars and
That's I'll be right there, honey. Go in the restroom. Sit.
It's the,
Tom got without talking to me about it. We fought over, but he was right. And
he finally. He
yeah,
got
so I
you.
have a light bar here, like I could give a concert or something.
I made
Wow.
Oh,
Oh.
let's see, dear.
I met your pictures, but that's okay. You can show
That's
her your
very
knitting.
cool.
Yeah, she does the round, the looms, those
That's
round
Deb.
knitting.
So I have two cameras, a down to show my hands.
There's,
Great.
Oh.
That's why the light bar.
I
And
can't see if I have any pictures.
please,
Okay.
I'd love to see it. And so recently I've had just the worst lighting problems. The camera was black and orange and God, I've been fooling with it and full. If you could see the stuff I have here, it's crazy. This morning, I just tried the other camera. It was the camera, not the lighting all the time.
Oh
So
no.
it died or something. So
My husband gave me his Logitech. Well, he's got his setup over here that he was working from home, but then he went back into the office. So I stole his camera, and I
Yeah.
had just my laptop camera, which was not very nice, and this one's a lot better.
well, I'm actually amazed. Tom also got me a tablet, which I also did not ask for. Didn't think I wanted. The sound and the picture on the laptop camera is better than anything I have.
Oh, really?
And like I've been listening to Audible while I work stories,
I love those. Come on, get down.
Yes, this is one.
Well, you know what, Marissa? We'll. Oh, there you go.
There you
She's got
go.
some of her.
I
some of
love
her
that. Are you a wine connoisseur?
No, I just clicked the drawing.
A
Is
bottle?
maybe, no.
I made this.
This,
Oh,
A little closer, dear.
beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
So, where'd Annie go? Oh,
It's
there's
Amber.
something. There's,
That's lovely.
isn't that beautiful? She's
And then I
likes
made
to
this
go, go,
one.
go. And then,
Oh, wow. You've got an artist there, all right.
yeah,
Mhm. I
yeah.
made this one.
Oh,
Oh,
beautiful. When I was living in San Francisco and trying to be an illustrator, I got somebody to
what
rep.
was that?
And she said, go
It's
home
one.
go home.
and get a bottle of wine,
Karen
and
Maillard.
a loaf of bread. And I thought she meant to draw them, to paint them. She said, drink it before I work. I thought my stuff was too tight.
Oh my God.
I made
So you drew a bottle of wine and a
I
loaf of
beautiful,
bread.
yeah, really tight.
That's funny. Hey, Annie, I can see your t-shirt. Anyway, well, we're gonna start. So I'm gonna, if you have your stuff, you can show it to her later, okay?
Okay.
I've been taking a pain management class online, with the doctor. And there is this enormous woman, and I can call her that because I am on the fluffy side, who unfortunately put her laptop down as she stood up to exit. Repeatedly.
Oh, jeez.
And the doctor was too sweet to say anything, but it just kept happening. It was awful.
Oh,
Stressful.
I had one person that had their phone like this, and they were looking at themselves, and all you could see was their ear.
I had a little girl who does this, and then she told me her sound didn't work. So everybody, the whole group, and I had like 10 kids.
Yeah.
trying to help her with it, and it was all a big ruse.
Oh, well.
Ha ha ha, 10 minutes lost I didn't have.
All right, well, we're gonna start. I got you. I'm gonna record it, so just so you know. I might one day put it on Facebook, but I will let you know. And
I have some stuff there now too. I'm trying to do
Yeah.
more of that.
yeah, I'm not savvy, and I don't know how to cut and paste and move I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just recording all of these sessions. And you're Victoria Smith. Lovely Victoria. First of all, what inspired you to do art or to start? What were you small? Were you, was it your mom? Was your dad? Was your friends?
Always had my hands in it, and I thought that all families were like that. My mother was an artist. Even my father, who I didn't consider an artist, did these lovely little English watercolors. Very rarely did he get time, but he could. And I have a sister who's a dancer, another one who's a writer, and they both painted. And I don't know, I had an amazing mother. I had this it was a balcony off the front of the house that they turned into another room because it was only this 2-bedroom house, had great big rooms, but so that the 3 girls of us, the oldest, could have it. But when I was left alone, my mother said, I want to paint a mural in there. And she said, sure, brought me home paint. And oh my God, when I think about it now, in her lovely home facing out to the street, bright orange, and of course the sunshine and a rainbow and all the things you do when you're about 10.
Oh, you were about 10? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
She really trusted me. She'd come home. She's a professional working artist as well. And she'd come home and she'd hand me something out of her purse that they were, cutting silk screens. She said, here, fool around with this. She didn't hang over my shoulder, give me a lot of directions. The 2 things I remember is make sure your pencil's good and sharp and be sure you're working in good light. And she started, I think I was about 7 when she gave me acrylic paint out of whatever was in her purse. And I really remembered this when I became a mother because, then I was fussy about my paintbrushes and my stuff, and the kids all wanted at them. And I thought, yeah, I remember Mom giving me whatever, her best brushes, her best stuff. So I gotta say, it's probably Mom, and maybe just the family culture I grew up in. My grandparents were very supportive, thought I could do anything better than anybody, which is so not true.
They loved you and they wanted you to flourish, obviously. Yeah.
My grandfather would go, and I was just this fat little kid compared to my beautiful sisters, and like tap dancing class or anything, and we'd come home, I don't know why they even bothered to have those other little girls up there. You were so pretty and so cute, so not. But he believed it, and that, was a wonderful self-confidence thing.
That helped you.
Eventually.
Yeah, that helped you to believe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very we're very personable, not personable. When you feel like when you're growing up, things are just amazing, but you don't know how to do any of it. My grandson's like that right now. He's 10, and I've got him into watercolors, and he's actually painting with acrylics on wood now.
How wonderful.
So yeah. So have you always done the acrylics, or did you go into a different medium? Or
Always something. I think she handed me acrylics so early that, I really think I was about 7, and I sat down at her marble table, God bless her, in the living room on all that French provincial furniture.
Your paint.
I kind of was a clean painter. I always was and still am, more or less. However, she worked for, was head of city recreation and parks. I owe them a never ending debt. She worked for them, and at about 3 o'clock initially, later she hired people, but she'd go to Fairy Tale Town and she'd teach puppet making, or she'd go someplace else and taught modeling or kind of a finishing school thing. So she was a working mother kind of before that was common. She'd say, be out in front. She'd swing by in her city car that she wasn't supposed to take me in.
Oops.
and take me to whatever she was teaching. And
Wow.
when I was there, I had to be on really good behavior. She was tougher on me than anybody, but I understood, I got it. But I think when I teach her do things, it's like I literally put her on like a suit of armor,
Right.
because I've heard it all before. I kind of know how to handle it.
That's wonderful. So do you have any of her art floating around, or did that?
I do. I have 2 paintings on the wall from when she was 18, before she met my dad, and they're big.
Yeah, okay,
From City College, oil paintings, 2 still lives that are pretty fabulous.
beautiful.
And she really put everybody else before herself. I don't think she got a chance to do her own work after a certain point, but I also have in storage, I hope they're still healthy, a stack of flyers drawings that she did for the city. Most of her job was come to the golf tournament on one sheet, and that she'd do little Scottish men, or fishing tournament would be my dad and with his fly fishing hat on, or Scottish Games. She was one of the people who started that here in town when it used to be at McKinley Park, not McKinley, wherever that, downtown. So I've got all these beautiful flyers that have her drawings on. And then she also did the backdrop every year for the winter show at Memorial Auditorium. So it was this, think how big the Memorial Auditorium is.
Yeah.
And I don't know how she knew how to do this, but I'd go to visit them and they'd be on a cherry picker, her and her workers, painting this enormous thing that they would block out in graphs and paint, this part is green with a little speck or whatever. And that made a big impression on me. I think, I thought, why wouldn't everyone want to be an artist? I still feel that way.
Absolutely.
The best thing you could possibly be in whatever way you are. But then I was heartbroken because they put it in the pool every year and just washed it all away.
Oh,
But I have all the mock-ups for that, painted in gouache for years of those. So I've got those, which I wish I had a bigger house, they'd be on the wall.
yeah. And
Kind of Disney.
yeah. It's a shame. I mean, I have on my walls, my friend helped me. I mean, you can't see it, but around the sides, I've got all the stuff that, people have painted, and, I don't have probably as much as some because I started it when I was 40, but
Well, and I'm running out of room in this house because, I had great big houses before this.
yes,
And
yeah.
the living room is stacked up with stuff. And Tom and I are trying to get the garage empty, and he deserves a workspace too, because he's like your hubby. He likes to paint cars and make
Yeah.
furniture and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
not since he met me.
Well, yeah. What was your most expensive piece that you'd sold, and where, or do you remember when?
$13,000.
Wow.
It's a mural for the veterans. It's over there at the Veterans Hospital, across the way I think it's it's a little like an apartment building complex type thing. It's lovely that they made for the veterans to stay on, and it's out in front. It's actually Rancho Cordova from the Mather, from the beginning of the first days of the field to up to date. And I put my ex-boyfriend, the guitar player, in it because I used to hang out here when I was a kid. We used to go to the air base, and I put my father in it and my uncle in it.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Some of
That
my
was a couple
other
years ago.
friends
Right.
had fathers and mothers that were out here. And Kitty O'Neill, her father was a base commander. I put him in it.
Oh,
So it
wow.
was really a labor of love.
Yeah.
And I did it in my living room and then put it up because, like, right now there's a lot of work to be had in murals. But I don't want to go climb up in the heat. I'm too old for that, I think.
Yeah. If you could do it in your living room and then put it
Yeah.
up, that'd be great. But
Yeah, I love that. I don't mind that at all.
yeah. Well, you've done some murals in Davis, right?
Yeah, quite a few.
Doing-
That's a beautiful free outing for anybody that's interested. They have huge sculptures and murals everywhere. And if you go into the John Matsoulis gallery, he has a map, or possibly right out front, and you could go on a walking tour of Davis and all these huge giraffes and dogs, ceramics and things. It's really a lovely destination.
I think that would be something that my class could do, you know, sooner than later, I think, you know, if we could get transportation to get over there, like, you know, maybe.
Yeah, because it's lovely and there's dappled trees everywhere. My mural out there is on 4th and D in a very nice pizza place. And when I say pizza place, it's quite upscale.
Uh-huh.
They had a cement wall, and so we put the mural on that. And so you can sit outside on the patio under those dappled trees, and they have little bonfire and a dappling pond and stuff, and the food is great. So that I highly recommend that for a date night or whatever.
Oh, how wonderful. So while you've been in lockdown, I hate saying that, what's another term we could use?
Oh, that's fine.
Stay in place, art in place.
There you go.
Did your art change? Did you add something like a mask or something silly or something serious, or did?
Not actually, other than I'm getting a lot more done because I don't have the students in and out of the house. I mean, when I think about what I was doing there, trying to think how many people I had, maybe 30 students a week through the house, which is a lot for a little tiny, I bet more than that.
Right, like
7 classes a week I had.
like 6 students per class or something?
Yeah, I had in the teenagers thing, I had 14 kids.
Wow.
That's my most popular class, a drawing class. I had them at the luncheon bar, I had them here, I had them in the living room, I had to buy tables. I think a lot of that was those kids needed to be with like-minded children.
Yeah.
Or different people, and it was a safe spot. And yes, we drew and learned things, but the most important thing is self-confidence, I think.
And have fun.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah.
So
When
yeah, and then I had a whole bunch of, I don't understand this, but I got a whole bunch of commissions once shut down. I don't know if people were sitting looking at their walls going, guys, it's time for me to get a painting or what, but
That's exactly my last week. Antonia Hansen said the same thing. She goes, I want to do a mural in someone's house. I go, well, here we go, you know,
yeah,
or paint your house on the wall. And I
I
think
want to do something for myself. We cut down all the bushes because I had possums out there all to keep me awake at night. So now I have this long wall on the street. It'd be fun to do something maybe in metal or something in tin. Paint it out there
beautiful.
on the wall. Landlord hates me.
Yeah, yeah.
Question.
Oh,
At my old school, Mesa Verde, we used to draw took like an art class I did, and we used to draw like pictures of the trees and stuff and see what they look like and stuff and just get an image of it. And I did a really good job.
I bet you
oh,
did.
good job.
And I freehand drew Mariah Carey all by myself, black and gray.
That's hard. I don't know if I would take that on. Good for you.
Yes.
The
thank
eyes,
you. Thank
the
you.
eyes and nose are hard, and the lips are hard too to draw.
Yeah.
Did you get her swagger? Mariah Carey is pretty tough.
Apparently, I have no idea how I drew her. It just came into my imagination.
Oh, she's a heartbreaker,
Yes, she
a
was.
talented one.
Well, thanks, Marissa, for that question. We're gonna go on, and I'm gonna ask you about your reflection. Did when you start doing a piece of art, do you think about what you're gonna do first, set up all your stuff, and does that take a long time?
Yeah. Usually, sometimes like now today before I came on, I have my twin daughters lost their cat, and my cousin lost her husband. And I sat down with some card material and just taped it up and went from emotion to it. That's not my normal working thing, but and then I take a lot of photographs, especially this time of year because the light is good.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not a gifted photographer. And I do that. And then also I take screenshots of the TV if I see something I like.
I do that.
And I also sit every so often and I look at paintings online because I feel that if you don't know what you want things to look like, it's like wandering around with no map. So occasionally I work towards this one file on my computer that I'm just downloading things I like. And then I go through them and I go, well, yeah, okay, I like all of them because my problem is I like everything. But how would I like to paint out of that? And so I get rid of the ones that are just like what I want to be. So that when I get kind of lost, I go there, oh, okay, I want something with good light. And I'm interested in color. And I like loose brush strokes. So it kind of sets me back on track of what I'm trying to do. And then, yeah, I do kind of have this, I am a horrible housekeeper. My mentor painter said, it's never going to get any paintings done. When she died, it turned out she was a hoarder and she gifted her house to her dogs and my art dealer. And they were living there a while. They moved a big china cabinet and there was a stairs to an upstairs they didn't even know was there.
Oh my gosh, how crazy.
She had a phobia of stairs. She was a genius, but crazy. So I do kind of start a load of laundry or run the dishes and I put music on or I put a audible story on. Actually, even a movie I've seen to hear, I like having that. Seems to help me settle in and work. And then if you could see my table now, you wouldn't believe me, but every so often then I clear off whatever it was we just finished with and try to set things up. And I just bought a new trolley. It's like a step stool thing, but it's supposed to go flatten out. So you'd have all your paints on it, but I can't make it flatten. So I don't know what's going on.
I've seen those, very clever. I think
Yeah.
it's great because everything's all ready and then you just push it down and
Yeah.
you're ready.
And it'll roll right under my drafting table, which is nice.
Mine is, this is my portable watercolor bin and it has my watercolors and my brushes and
I was just
anything else.
doing that.
Because yeah, exactly. When I was at work with these guys, I had to sometimes bring it. And if I didn't have it ready, I would be running around trying to get it and then I'd forget something. And
I keep a backpack, which actually used to always live in my car when I was more often in it, that had watercolor paper and stuff because I'd like go to the doctor in Tahoe. And I started thinking as I was driving there every week, the people from all over the world wanted to be in Lake Tahoe or San Francisco. And here I'm just driving right by. So I kind of made myself a promise to sit down for 20 minutes and paint on my way home. Not a single good painting has come out of it, I have to say, but I still do it.
well, it's the thought that counts, they say. You know?
I'm also got a kind of a new gig. I'm silver brush artist educator. And it's the coolest thing.
Oh, look, Annie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. They send me paintbrushes every month. And then we have a class online and they teach me about that type of brush and how to fix up brushes. And then they also use our experiences. They have us demo to go into the product. So I don't get paid, but oh my God, the brushes. And then for every class I teach and talk about the brushes, I get so many points and can buy brushes for that.
Or whatever you want, or maybe more brushes.
Well, they only have brushes.
Oh.
Then there's the golden people that sell the paint.
Right. And you're
Just like
still with,
they have a new product called So Flat. Have you heard of that?
No.
I have not even painted with it yet. It is no sheen. It is totally flat. Do you guys ever have problems with reflections in your paint? I kind of don't understand, but it's for like pop art or people who do mixed media stuff. If you don't want that acrylic shine, and it is flat.
Yeah, I think that would be good for some of the work that some of the other guys do, because they do that kind of work.
Like an acrylic gouache is what it's like. It's not chalky at all, but it's acrylic, but it's no shine. So I got to take that out. So I'm still learning stuff too. And I think If you want to be an artist, it's probably best if you like to self-educate and you're curious.
Keep learning.
Yeah,
Annie, did you have something you wanted to say? You need to unmute your phone.
because I will talk your ear off. You don't jump in there.
She'll jump in. So she's got her arm all in a big pot. Oh, it's great.
I love that thing.
Isn't it great? She gets something like that every other year and she wears it out.
Yeah, it is important to kind of replace them. They do get tired if you use them.
Yeah, she uses the paints and the paper and the everything.
I have a, I don't even know if it's show on camera. My room is so tight, I'm too tubby to get between the. Can you see at all?
Oh my goodness. I love that cabinet. Look at that.
That's part of it. It's grown now quite a bit.
You'll never use all of it, will you?
I think I will. Actually, I'm running on things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this year, because we aren't teaching very much,
Nice, Annie.
I'm painting a lot and using up my stuff. Oh, that's cool. Well, just you got to be organized. Got to have your stuff where you can get on it.
Absolutely.
And I think that inspires too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I walk past the paintbrushes and they call me, come play with me.
I have my paintbrushes here with Dave made these little books, bricks of wood, and I have all my paintbrushes
I
in
got
each
this
one
on
of them.
Christmas.
What you got?
Ooh,
Is that for
wow.
Christmas?
No, outside. Oh,
Been buying off the internet brush holders, but the big problem is the big ones. It doesn't, because some of my stuff is
Because they're too big.
I use these too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I gotta have something big and heavy. That needs work.
You you kind of got me into, I think, working with a little bit bigger brush. And then I got some Bob Ross, which has his name on it.
But his products are really good. I snag some too when I can, when they were
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah.
Actually, let me pass this along because I'm thinking this one I've had for a really long time. It's a house painting brush, Purdy. They're expensive, but they're wonderful. Purdy, and is the type. So one of the things I learned from the silver brush people, if you have a brush that has kind of gone stiff on you, and it's been maybe less than a year, they told us, I haven't tried it yet, I can't wait. Take a little crock pot or a little boiling water and you dip, you don't leave it in there because all the glue will come out here. But if it's acrylic paint, it should restore your brush. As
Wow.
long as it hasn't been that way for,
A long time.
I'm gonna try this one. Well, some people have even those, so
Well, I'm gonna have to try that.
yeah, me too.
So your work, you had a couple of, well, the KVIE auction. Kind of embellish on that a little bit. When did
I
that
do it-
start? You know,
I
Dee?
do it every year. I think I've been doing it since 2011, 2012. And, it's a wonderful, a lot of my artist friends will go, oh my God, you're just going to give them a painting? Why would you? Don't give them that one. It's too good. Well, if you wanted to advertise yourself
Yeah,
to exact people who are interested in art or want to buy, it's the best place. And if you spent 5 minutes television time, I used to say $4,000. I'm sure it's much more than that now locally to buy a spot, which you would never do. So it goes a long way to people seeing you as a professional, which is kind of interesting. It's the perception.
mhm.
The idea, the media is the message. It's funny. Suddenly people think I have a life much deeper and more vivid than but they treated me really well, had me on there to talk, and they did really nice things. So I try to give them a good painting every year because there's no downside. KVIE is such a wonderful platform to give your money to, for starters.
Yeah.
And then I had a weird thing I will share if you guys don't tell. This last year, I was kind of sick when it was time to turn the painting in. And I was trying to teach myself something new about color. And I was doing this painting and I really hated it. And I thought, I'm just not going to send it. I'll send something else. And Tom said, you already told me to send it. All right, take it down there. But let's be quiet about it. So I didn't tell anybody I'm going to have anything. I didn't advertise it on Facebook or talk about it. And it was that basically this painting isn't done yet, but it was this painting. And here's the funny part about it. I put a low price on it, $500, because all the other thing about KVIE, if you keep the price low, more people can jump in and bid and it gets it rolling. It got into a bidding war, that horrible painting, and it went for $1,500.
Oh my gosh. Oh my.
And the next day I had 2 phone calls of people who wanted me to recreate the painting for them. And yes, we'll pay 15. And actually I want a bigger one, so I'll pay more.
Oh,
So-
wow.
So architect, I'm doing one for his dream house. It's gonna have a big glass front door and you're gonna walk in and the painting will be there.
Oh, wonderful.
And the other one's a nice lady, same thing, but I'm horrified because I hated the painting. So
Jenna.
lesson is, maybe you don't always know what's there. You know,
Yeah.
give the thing a chance to have a life of its own, but now I'm having to do 2 more of them.
Oh, well, that's what Charla used to tell me. She says, I've been drawing these dogs and cats and dogs and people eat it up. She says,
Yeah.
and that's really not something that I think I really,
No,
I,
I'm working on my landscapes, but I don't think I'm that great at it, but I have won a lot of awards from them, so I don't know what to think.
see, and that's why I love landscape and
Yeah.
I would love to go with the portrait, but I'm not there. I don't think I want to go there. But
It's tricky. You got to keep it loose. I like doing them at good portrait artists, and I'm kind of good at it, but they do it every day. That's what they do.
yeah.
And it's kind of hard to cross pollinate.
So
I actually was doing this painting. It was pink, blue, and pretty in Michael's up in Folsom. And a lady came home, I was 45 minutes in, came by and wanted to buy it, which I'm not supposed to do there, but the boss said it was okay. So I sold it and started again. So now this will be 5-6 times I've done the same painting and sold it.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I'm not bitching, I'm happy to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You've got work, a lot of people don't. So,
And I did a dog portrait, memorial portrait for a dog, and I got 2 more after that I have to get finished, so I'm busy.
wow. And that's wonderful. I'm so glad that you're still,
Me too. It makes you
Doing
feel really good about yourself as
Yeah.
well as,
yeah.
I mean, you don't have to sell your work to have confidence in it. The most important thing is how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
It's good for the heart and good for your health, but
And-
it's nice when you can sell them too.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that our program helps with is, they get a portion. If they sell something under $20, they get the whole $20. And then because we offer their all of the supplies, so we have to buy the supplies. So
Yeah.
if it's more expensive, then we get a portion, really low portion, but it gives them a chance to get out there and sell it. The farm, the Cal Expo, and these different things that we have. We're trying to get some stuff online, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I hope so.
Yeah.
There's one other question I want to ask you. What haven't you done in art that you would like to do that you don't know how yet? Have you ever thought of something that you would like to do that you haven't yet done?
I kind of have a fantasy about, Tom doesn't even weld, but I was going to gift him a weld, and he's interested. His father was a welder. About trying to get some commissions for those big things outside of buildings, banks, and because some of my friends are doing them and they get $80,000 for one of those.
The metal rebar kind of
The really big kind, yeah.
wow.
Maybe the horsey one, 30, the smaller 30.
Yeah,
But I think that would be a wonderful retirement thing for us to do.
That's beautiful.
If we can get along, you have to understand I'm the boss.
Yes, aren't we all women? We're all the boss, right?
Oh, yeah. He's very good about that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's been really nice talking, and I want to thank you guys for coming in. If you want to ask a question to Victoria, she lives in my town, or I live in her town. I don't even know. We grew up actually in the same town. I lived here when I was 5 in 1960. 60? Yeah, 1960. I moved here, and you know, I've kind of come back full circle. So I'm glad I met her. It was through my husband I met her.
I was picking her husband up in the art store.
She was, yeah.
That's
Ooh.
not really true. My father's English and looked so much like David. And I heard this voice and turned around, and here he was. I had to ask where he was from. Then he started talking about all this stuff he was making in the scientific mind. And that is so my family that I just was like, wow, we got to know who these people are. So it was the best conversation I ever started at Michael's. It was great.
Yeah, and I'm
You
really
two are well met.
yeah, I think so. I feel he's very special.
Yes.
Did anybody have a question? We got 3 minutes.
Hi, Miss Virginia.
Liz Perkins, you're muted. Liz Ariola, do you have a question?
Just one.
Okay, go ahead. Shoot.
My question is, when I go to ceramic
Uh-huh.
and I paint some stuff out in there, and I guess it's still in there. Oh,
Are you
Disagree.
are you talking about your art ceramics at the program?
yeah.
Oh,
You know,
oh,
I love ceramics, and I was lucky enough that Tony Natsoulis took me in and taught me privately for nothing in his studio.
wow.
But my back is bad, and all that stuff is heavy, and it's got to go somewhere, and a lot of it breaks. So it was heartbreaking. I thought, yeah, I think I could be good at that, but it's too heavy. I break it.
Yeah.
Painting is a little easier, I think. So hats off to you for trying ceramics.
And
Yeah.
I'll try and get that. Is that what you want me to do? Is get some of that ceramics for you, or is there a question for Victoria? Was that it?
Yeah. Have you ever been into ceramics?
Oh,
Have
Like a ceramic mosaics? Have you?
I made this thing. It was a plate, and it had a girl on it, except her thigh was like a chicken drumstick, and I don't know what it was, but we painted it with acrylic, and it actually went to an art gallery, a prestigious one downtown, and the guy broke it. And he ended up closing shop and never paid me for it. So because it was like an $800 thing at that point. So that was heartbreaking. So that was kind of when I thought, people can't resist touching it, right? Do people touch your stuff? I see.
hey, you guys, I think it's about done. I think we've got to say goodbye to Miss Victoria because we have less than 1 minute.
Well, thank you. Draw every day if you can. Oh, that's lovely.
And she loves big buildings, and that's
That's
thank you,
stunning.
Annie.
Got another one?
Oh, and this is her more mixed media.
Oh, I think that's kind of my favorite right
Isn't that
there.
cool?
Very cool.
All kinds of stuff going on there.